Welcome to Current Affairs with Manjula on RiotRadio.ca. Today's show is about the revitalization of downtown Oshawa, and I have the distinct pleasure of having with me His Worship, Mayor John Henry of Oshawa, here to talk about this. Welcome to the studio.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm excited here to be here at Riot Radio.
Great, and I hope that you come very often, actually. People are excited that you're here. I've been hearing quite a bit of feedback, and I've been getting questions sent in by people, too. So let's get to the middle of this. One of the questions that I'm interested in finding out about is we have all these things that are happening in downtown Oshawa. You know, there's a lot of positive news. Recently, however, and you're very familiar with this, there was a comment made by musician Jan Arden that got a couple of Oshawa residents a little upset and got you out there putting out a lot of PR for the city. So my question is, do you think that there's still a negative perception about Oshawa out there, and how are you combating that?
Well, we're out selling the community every chance we get. Oshawa is very unique. You know that we have Durham College and UOIT, and Queen's University has a presence, and Trent is here in town, and Oshawa has very much changed. We're a manufacturing community that has become an educational community, a medical community, and a transportation hub. And you know, nobody would realize, but if you lived in Oshawa, you'd know that there's a restaurant. You can go downtown, have dinner in a different restaurant every night, or 1 week a month. There's 52 restaurants. There's more restaurants under development. We're home to 4 professional franchises, sports franchises. We have the most amazing art gallery in Durham region, and one of the largest collections of publicly owned art in Canada. We have an amazing downtown core memorial park. We have an automotive museum. We have the largest museum in Canada with working military historic vehicles. Oshawa is much more, and it's about getting that message out there to the community that we are the place to be, and we are in the middle of somewhere.
And I think, you know, one of the things you also, I'm sure, working on is bringing new investment to the city. So what are some of the things that you're trying to create in the city?
Well, actually, the university and the college are a big part of that. The students that are coming here and going to school that participate in our downtown are going back home with a new concept of what Oshawa is. It's a place where you can have a great standard of living in an environment that's safe, and that message is getting out to the business world. And now it's not uncommon to have a company call me from, we've had 4 delegations from China, a recent delegation from the Ukraine. I've met with a group of people from Ireland. We have had a group from Vietnam. The message is getting around the world, and a lot of it is because of what's happening here in the educational process. The things that are happening with Durham College in energy technology. And then if you look at the ACE Center in the world's largest climatic wind tunnel, that message is around the world, and you can see companies coming to the campus here every day that say, whoa, what a place to be. We have all these things that no other community in Canada has.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. What are some of the hindrances, you think, to bringing that investment into the city, or just to the growth of the city?
Well, everybody thinks that we're the big city next to Toronto. It's not about, Toronto has a big presence in the province, and, there's a lot of people live in Toronto and a lot of people work in the city. But, if it wasn't for the economy of the city of Oshawa driving the province, whether it be in the automotive industry, for years we were the Manchester of Canada. We were the manufacturing mecca of the country, and we've contributed to the development of Canada in greater ways than some other cities in Canada. And it's about getting that message out here. It's about coming to town and buying a house in this community for $250,000 that in Toronto you would pay $700,000 for. It's about coming to a community where we have amazing shopping. It's a friendly place. Everybody smiles. People will stop and talk to you. I don't know if you were downtown Toronto lately, but not very often does somebody talk to you in the downtown core.
You're going to be getting a call from the mayor of Toronto because of that now, but that's interesting. One of the things that I've noticed over time, foot traffic in downtown Oshawa has changed over time. What are you doing to bring more foot traffic to that core? Because I think it makes a big difference to the business owners down there for very obvious reasons.
Well, I think the changes have been happening for the last little while. 2010, there was 28 restaurants in downtown Oshawa. There's 52 restaurants downtown Oshawa today. The foot traffic's downtown because the Oshawa Generals are playing hockey, the Power are playing basketball. We have 2 lacrosse teams. Even Elton John played a concert at the GM Center. We've got Johnny Reed here shortly. Alan Jackson's been here. Jeff Dunham, who came to town, actually caused us to have ticket scalpers in downtown Oshawa. We've reached the big time.
Yes, that is.
It's downtown is growing on its own. We have Costco under development. We have people coming to town looking at putting hotels in our city. We've got all this happening, and a big part of that is what the educational system has done for the city of Oshawa.
Do you have any efforts underway to increase high density housing in downtown Oshawa? The reason I ask is that I've noticed that when that happens, affordable, high density housing, that there's people walking through the city. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, the housing, we are under provincial standards designated a city that is under the places to grow. So construction and increased residential capacity on main streets is part of that. And you can see that up here by the university, where we've got the Dundurn project is finished. We've got another housing project under development. And in the downtown, there is land that has been purchased, and we hope for condominiums, and some of our brownfields are being looked at for development. So we're hoping to attract those businesses to the community, because this is the place to be. But I think the days of us giving incentives to companies coming to Oshawa are over. And it's incredibly exciting. Costco, Canada Post, some of the development in the downtown has been really a renaissance and really exciting.
So the other question that I have that's on everyone's minds is the budget that just came down, the provincial budget. You've probably, I'm sure that you may have had some time to review it. I know there's quite a bit of information that came out. What are your thoughts on it, on the impact on sort of what it's going to do to the municipalities?
Well, Oshawa is really classed as a lower tier municipality, so we're part of the region of Durham. And at the Oshawa level, the impact is minimal. But at the regional level, the level where we handle social services and social housing, I have huge concerns. We need to, everybody lives in Canada deserves a standard of living and a safe place to live. And, at the region, our social housing budget's $177 million. And we look after properties throughout the region, and we need to be able to maintain them and look after them. And while the province is trying to get their house in order, we still have to maintain the existing services, the stuff that's been there and built. And policing is another one. We have our police budget is large. It's $164 million, and everybody, when you dial 911, you want emergency services there as quickly as possible. And I'm worried about the infrastructure, roads and sewers and some of the stuff that comes along, and transit initiatives and all the things that make this country great that are existing now. We shouldn't have to be punished for some of the other decisions that have been made.
Interesting. What are you most proud of in the time that you've had with the city so far, that you've done?
Oh, I think every day, we have a rule in my office that we have to do something good every day. And I think what's exciting is I've been able to do that every day since I was elected. We've been able to advance something, meet with somebody, deal with an issue. To some people, they come into my office, and to them, the issue that they have is monumental in their life. Yesterday, I had a young man in my office who just absolutely amazed me, and he had some concerns about an incident that happened at a rail crossing. And his message was, he was a young man, and his message is, how do you get the message out to the kids about walking and texting or having your iPod turned up while you're cycling? So I was able to help him yesterday and find a way to get that message. Every day is a great day in Oshawa. I was born here. I lived here during the times when there was lots of industry, and I've watched it change, and now I've watched it re-energize, revitalize, and become the city that I remember when I was a kid. And being part of that is exciting. And I'm thankful every day that I'm mayor of the greatest city in Canada.
So on a final note, do you have a message that you'd like to pass on to the UIT Durham College or any other students that are listening into this?
I want you to believe in your community. I want you to take the time to have a cup of coffee with your friends. I'd like you to take the time, instead of sending an email to somebody who's not far away, to walk over and say hi. The social media is such a great thing, but being personal can never be replaced. If you're a long way from home, as my daughters are, take the time to phone your parents. Don't send them a text. I miss that. I have two wonderful daughters that are going to school in places other than Oshawa, and it means so much when the phone rings and it's say, "Hi, Dad, how you doing?" And that's important. So take the time.
How would you ask that they engage with the city and with especially the downtown core?
Well, I'm the mayor of everybody. It doesn't matter whether you vote here, don't live here all the time. If you want to engage with my office, then you can schedule an appointment. You can send me an email, and I'd be happy to meet with you. Engagement is everything, and you have ideas of how you want to build your city. We have a great youth committee in the city, and politicians tend to build things for young people that we think they need, and in reality, forget to ask the very people that are going to be using it. So be engaged. No question is trivial. Take the time to contact us, and we're there. And if you'd invite me, I'd love to come back. And I'm around the campus. I was here last night for the media show. It's a great place, and after all, I am alumni of Durham College, so I'm happy to come out here and support the school whenever I can.
Wonderful. We'd love to have you on again.
Thank you.
That would be great. Well, thank you so much for being here. We are going to take a little bit of a break. We will be listening to a song by Janelle Monáe called Cold War. You've been listening to Current Affairs with Manjula on RiotRadio.ca.